Hello and welcome back to the On the Rest of It and to another edition of Raw Out of 10. And yeah, big episode of Raw this week with Dominic Mysterio defending his North American title, and Cody Rhodes sent a message to Brock Lesnar while Seth Rollins was attacked by the Judgment Day, and of course we're getting ever closer to SummerSlam. So yeah, a lot happening on this week's show, but the Judgment Day kicked off Raw and celebrated Dominic's North American Championship win with Dom getting his own solo entrance. They were interrupted by KO and Sammy, and the tag champion said no one cared about what the Judgment Day had to say. Sammy then told Dom if he wants to protect, he should face one of them tonight in a title match. Dom was hesitant, but Rhea took the mic and accepted it on his behalf as Raw moved on. So yeah, either they had a master plan in place, but Dom wasn't very happy with it, and yeah, I think Rhea kind of assuming that role worked really nicely, and obviously a bit of a setup for later in the night. But yeah, some very interesting angles you can take from it. It was done for the first match, which was Becky versus Zoe. Becky started off strong and took Zoe down right off the bat before they headed outside, and Lynch sent Stark into the barricades. Becky then missed a leg drop on the apron floor. Trish got involved, and it led to Zoe getting a near fall for a super kick. Becky then dodged the Z360 before getting a suplex and knocking in an armbar. Stark then broke out of it and hit a powerbomb for a near fall before Becky tried for the disarmer. Becky got the manhandle slam off a counter, picking up the win. And yeah, 6 out of 10. Obviously, it's kind of the way we all expected it to go, but it's properly sets up the match now for SummerSlam, I presume. And yeah, no surprise, but you know, a solid match. So yeah, 6 out of 10. Cody Rhodes was out next and talked about Brock Lesnar beating up his before talking about his achievement. He said that his mother wasn't impressed with Lesnar and adding that Brock was a big mistake. Cody now wants to embarrass Lesnar at SummerSlam and end their feud for good. And yeah, probably the way it's going to go, but another really good promo from Cody. That's kind of a strong point of his game at the moment. And yeah, looking forward to the playoff match at SummerSlam. Hope we get an interesting stipulation as to it. So yeah, good stuff. Dominic Mysterio then defended his title against Sami Zayn. Real fighting champion is Dominic, defending it on Friday and Monday. Fair play to the guy. Dominic was sent outside early on, and Sami followed up with a big dive to the outside as we headed for a break. Back on Raw, Rhea distracted the ref while Priest tried to help, but KO stopped him. The ref saw KO interfering and saw him backstage, and before doing the same for Rhea and Priest. Back in the ring, Dom got a drip kick off a counter before Sammy dodged a 619 and a Blue Thunder Bomb for a near fall. Bellamy was about to end the match before Dom tried to escape the ring before catching Sammy with a kick to the head. Dom then got the 619 off distraction, got a near fall. Dom hit a triple suplex and Sammy countered the frog splash and hit an exploded suplex in the corner. We saw Priest and Rhea beat KO down on the entrance ramp, and a distraction allowed Dominic to roll a concern Sammy up for the win. And yeah, it gets 7 out of 10 from me. Dominic Mysterio defeated Sammy was incredible, but it's going to boil even more piss. And to be honest, yeah, I would enjoy it. I do enjoy seeing it. And Dominic picking up the win again. Once again, yeah, the Judgment Day, what a run they're on at the moment. Absolutely incredible stuff. And yeah, I really did enjoy this, I have to say. 7 out of 10 from me. Apollo Crews was then backstage and ran his Judgment Day before Priest challenged into a match tonight, and Crews agreed before it's time for Bronson Reed versus Tommy T. Ciampa started off strong and got some big strikes before Reed smashed into him and sent him flying. Ciampa went for a headlock as the match went on, and Bronson turned it into a back body slam before getting some big tackles. Ciampa was sent outside and took a big dive to the outside before he headed for another break. Back on Raw, Ciampa got some big clothesline in the corner before getting a near fall for a big slam. Ciampa then got some kicks to the jaw but took a big senton. Nakamura made his way out to ringside before Ciampa went out to talk to him before a big diving slam on the way back. Reed then sent Ciampa back in for the Cena Army and got the win. And yeah, to be honest, this gets a 5 out of 10 from me. I don't know, this kind of felt there. I didn't get much from it, I have to say. So yeah, unfortunately this gets a 5 out of 10 from me. Kind of just felt there. I think we're waiting for Johnny Gargano to really return. Maybe this story to become a bit more interesting. Liv Morgan was backstage and said she was going to get revenge on Rhea Ripley tonight before Ripley attacked Liv Morgan before their match and sent her into the barricades and into the ring post before smashing her arm. Rhea got a chair and trapped Liv's arm in before stomping on it. Officials came in to stop the brawl and Rhea posed for a bit before the match was called off. Rhea got the chair once more and smashed Liv's arm before walking away. Didn't quite go as planned for Liv, but yeah, Rhea looked like an absolute killer here. Credit to her and WWE for the booking, and Liv unfortunately has sustained a rear injury, so hopefully she's back soon, and yeah, of course, speedy recovery. Alpha Academy were backstage and Chad Gable made fun of the Viking Raiders for Maxine Dupree challenged Valhalla to a singles match next week, yeah, which I'm kind of intrigued to see, but kind of I'm a bit worried about what might happen in it as well. Before Ricochet was out next and challenged Logan Paul to the ring. What Paul didn't show up, Ricochet said it was all a joke, while the rest of the real stars sacrificed a lot. Logan attacked Ricochet from behind and took him out before taking selfies. Ricochet recovered and he had a big super kick and a shooting star press, taking out the Maverick before walking out. And yeah, this was good stuff, I have to say. Paul going in as a heel, Ricochet I think is getting a rub off this as well, so it works really well. It's going to create an insane spot on the night, and yeah, kind of all fits in nicely here, so good stuff. For Shayna Baszler was backstage and critically told she was going to fight Ronda Rousey at SummerSlam, hinting at possibly a stipulation match, maybe a fight pit, who knows, but yeah, whatever it's going to be, I'm intrigued. Next up on Monday Night Raw, Damian Priest took on Apollo Crews. Priest got a big drop kick to start the match and took Crews to the corner before Apollo sent him outside before being brought back in for a top rope crossbody. Priest then got a near fall off the broken arrow before Crews reversed the South of Heaven. Priest got the South of Heaven chokeslam on the second try and picked up the easy win. And yeah, this kind of felt just there, just to put over really in Damien as Money in the Bank winner. But yeah, Apollo Crews, kind of don't see what they're doing at the moment. Maybe you should have seen the NXT, to be honest. But yeah, simple win for Priest here, and that's all it was there for. So I guess it gets a 6 out of 10 from me. The Viking Raiders in a promo. Valhalla said she accepted Maxine's challenge for next week. So yeah, that's going to be very interesting and very much intrigued for that. Before Imperium was out next, and Gunther called out Drew McIntyre before he got some trash talking. Gunther said he will humiliate Drew at SummerSlam, while McIntyre challenged him to a match. Gunther refused, and then Drew challenged a wig instead before heading to a break on Monday Night Raw, and then we got that match. Kaiser was in trouble early on and was tossed outside before sending him into the ring post. Drew then got some shots in before sending Kaiser into the barricade. Vinci got on the apron and the distraction allowed Kaiser to get the advantage for a bit. Drew was sent into the corner before getting dropped outside. Back in the ring, Drew got back in control and set up the Claymore, but Kaiser countered it with a dropkick. McIntyre broke out and managed to get the win from the Claymore. And yeah, this gets 6 out of 10 from me, with Imperium attacking Drew after the match, and they were about to put him through the table when Riddle came in to make it so, but Con taking it out with a powerbomb from Gunther. Drew managed to reverse the shot on the table and put Gunther through the table with a powerbomb. So yeah, kind of even in defeat in a way. Imperium looked strong and setting up that program really nicely. I think potentially maybe the biggest challenge for Gunther's reign so far. I'm very much intrigued to see where that goes. But yeah, this is a good segment setting all up, and yeah, I am very much excited for that match. Finn Balor was out next and was ready for the SummerSlam contract signing. Seth Rollins came out and said Balor had no chance of winning the title at SummerSlam. Seth told Balor that even if he won the title, Priest would surely be there to cut his title reign short. Priest, Dominic and Ripley came out and surrounded the ring as Balor talks about how much he'd been waiting for this title shot. Rollins anticipated the attack on the table and flipped it off, and before Priest took Seth down with a briefcase before Sammy showed up with steel chairs to defend the champs. The tag champs got overpowered after Rhea got in the way and was sent outside before Rollins was cornered in the ring. Seth tried to get out and kick down before Priest hit the Razor's Edge. And yeah, this worked really nicely. It was Judgment Day. Are they potentially gonna break up, with Balor and Priest as well? There is tension there, but yeah, all teaming up to defeat Rollins worked nicely. And overall this week, Raw gets a 6 out of 10 from me. On the whole, a really enjoyable episode of Raw, I thought, this week. Yeah, the main event segment was great. It kind of all building up to SummerSlam. I thought there were definitely some positive kind of lead ups in there as well that worked nicely. So yeah, on the whole, a decent episode of Raw this week, I have to say. 6 out of 10. But anyway, guys, that's it. Thanks so much for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, comment, for daily wrestling news, subscribe for channel, great show pieces. Thanks so much for watching. Peace.